All right, right now in New at 4, as you may know, Colorado is one of the worst states in the nation when it comes to the bird flu outbreak. The virus has infected an egg-laying chicken farm out in Weld County, where all the birds there, 1.8 million, will have to be killed. And in the last month, 26 herds of dairy cattle have been infected here, too, the most of any state. Plus, the virus has infected at least one person here now. Thankfully, that person has recovered pretty quickly. And a lot of people still have questions about what this means for them. So let's get some answers with Dr. Bob Belknap, the executive director of the Public Health Institute at Denver Health. Dr. Belknap, it's good to see you again. Thanks for coming in and talking about this. For people who live in the Denver metro area, where most people do here in Colorado and who are watching right now, do they even have to be concerned about the bird flu?
No, it's not something that the average person needs to be concerned about. If they're not working with animals and in contact with birds or cattle, then it's not something that they should concern themselves with currently.
What about those who have, say, backyard chickens? Denver allows them. I run past some houses every day and see the chickens out there in the yard. Love fresh eggs. A lot of people like it. Is that something that they need to think about?
Yeah, that would put someone at greater risk. There's the possibility, especially if their chickens could be coming in contact with wild birds in any way, then that would be the risk for their flock to get infected. Still, the risk is incredibly low, though, so I wouldn't tell people to do anything differently at this point.
Okay, and what about buying dairy, buying eggs, even say beef? There's a chance it could get into beef cattle.
Yeah, there is that chance. We know that with pasteurized milk, with cooked eggs, cooked beef, that inactivates the virus. So there's no worries from food or from milk. There's the theoretical possibility with unpasteurized milk of people getting sick. Now, not currently, because the virus really isn't well adapted to people. But that could happen. There are other infections that people can get from unpasteurized milk, so there's a risk there either way. Okay,
bottom line, what do you want people to know about this in terms of how much this could possibly spread? Could it be the next pandemic, and how safe are, again, people in general and the food supply?
Yeah, I'd say currently, people are safe and this shouldn't be something that they're losing sleep over. And I think it's good that they have awareness, because it could evolve. That's the reason that it's being tracked, and we've been tracking it now for a couple of years. The virus changes and has changed, and if it continues, it could become more pathogenic to people, so make people sicker, and change to where it can transmit from person to person, and then, yeah, that could cause a pandemic.
Okay, Dr. Bob Belknap with Denver Health. Appreciate the advice today.